Are you in touch with your emotions? Have your emotions been amped up the past few days? Well, we had a new moon in Scorpio yesterday, and that was intense. And the energy is still playing out now. And so, for those of you who noticed there was no Monday message yesterday, I was in that emotional landscape and dealing with the emotional waves. And when I'm in that space, I tend not to share because I'm in my own process. And what is coming up for me that I would love to share with you, because it's been an experience that I have had, is that there are some who are really in touch with their emotions. They can feel them, they can articulate them, they can really access that emotional landscape. And then there are others of us, myself included, where it's a little bit more challenging to access that emotional landscape. We've built up these mechanisms to protect us from feeling too much. Or when we feel so much, we shut ourselves down because it is so much. And one thing that I have noticed in my life is that when I'm able to at least access the what I would consider the top four, the ones that most of us are able to at least recall a memory or an experience that would be directly connected to this, would be happiness, sadness, anger, and what we would perceive as the feeling of love. And that may differ for each person, but I would say those are the top four. Now, our emotions inform us. They inform us of a past pain, a past joy. They inform us of the energetic space that we might be in and how it feels for us, which can then inform us, is this a place where I want to be? Do I want to leave this environment? Do I want to leave this relationship? Or is this joyful? Do I want to stay here? And the other part of emotions where they can be a little bit tricky is that our emotions can also hold us back. Fear being one of them. I guess that was another one I could have mentioned. Fear can hold us back from really stepping into our destiny, our true path. And our emotions can also be connected to our physical body, so that pain in your shoulder or that pain in your neck or in your knee is very likely connected to an emotional wound that stems from the past. It could come from this lifetime in the past. It could be from another lifetime. And to make things a little bit more complicated even, is it may not even be yours. It may be connected to something from another lifetime, from an ancestor. So it's not always connected to the here and now. And so that's where our emotions can be kind of tricky. So how do we deal with that? What do we do in those cases? So with the Scorpio new moon, it's showing us, revealing to us those areas of ourself that we tend to hide from. And I'll give you an example for something that has come up for me. Is I noticed with myself where I would become fearful, or I would go into a place of feeling insecure about myself when I'm looking at, it's kind of like that bright shiny object, or somebody else living this idyllic life that really probably isn't as idyllic as it looks like, but out there looking at other people, other teachers, other coaches or guides that are sharing wisdom and sharing their magic, and they're doing it in such a profoundly impactful, simple, or really polished way. And then I come on all whatever, not polished, not shiny, not articulate, not clear. This is already 4 minutes and I'm still talking. And so going into that place of judging myself and going into that emotional landscape of the feelings that are coming up, when I also know that there's someone for everyone, and that the more I step into my mission, the more I share, the more I move beyond those emotions, beyond that fear, the more aligned I'm actually going to be. And so when is it that we push through? When is it that we use those emotions to inform? And what I have found is there's no simple fix. It's about consistent connection to how we're feeling and understanding what that is revealing to us about ourselves. And also knowing that oftentimes when we're angry, we're not really angry at the person or the situation that we think we're angry about. It really comes from something within us. Because whenever we're feeling this anger, for instance, it's because there's some wound inside of us that's looking to be healed. There's some wound inside of us that needs some attention, some part of us that wasn't nurtured or nourished or taken care of. And so now we have an opportunity to do that. We have an opportunity to nourish and nurture that part of ourselves that wasn't before, and not look outside of ourselves at that other person to create that feeling within us. So love is a prime example of that. We can experience loving another. The deepest love is loving ourselves. And so how do we translate that? How do we turn that mirror of love back on ourselves when we are looking at another and loving that person for who they are? A great example of that is if any of you have children. This baby being is born and you're holding him or her in your arms, and you've not really met them. You don't really know anything about them. You have no idea what the future holds, but yet there is this tremendous unconditional love that is experienced in that moment that is hard to articulate or explain or share in words. And so there are these things that we can't quite put into words and we can't quite access in terms of being able to express it. But the importance is, how are you able to feel it? And can you take that feeling, translate it into information that will guide you forward, that may allow you to heal in some way? One book that I find is a really helpful guide is this book, Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. And there is a glossary in the back that talks about physical pains, physical issues, physical conditions that connect to different emotional states or landscape. And it can really help you navigate things that might be coming up. And it could be that you are not able to access your emotional space, but that pain in your shoulder is showing you that there's a burden that you're carrying. And if it's on your left shoulder, for instance, it has to do with that femininity, that maybe not allowing others to help you. You're not receiving help. And so you feel the burden of it all. And to be able to understand that that's happening and make some changes within your life to heal that and to move through that. I'm going to drop a link for the book in the description below. It is an affiliate link, so please know that if you make the purchase through that link, that I will receive a little bit of financial love. But it's a book that I really enjoy and that I use with my clients quite often. And I feel like it's one that would be super helpful for anyone who's looking to understand or navigate their emotional landscape a little bit better. So that's it for today. Curious if anything is coming up emotionally for you, any sorts of feelings and stories you want to share, please do, whether it's in a DM to me personally, privately, or if it's in the comments below. It's super amazing when we share, because you know it's coming. We learn from one another. Bye for now.